With a whopping 473 stores across the globe, IKEA is the world's largest furniture store. Founded in 1943 by Ingvar Kamprad at just 17 years old, IKEA soon became the world-renowned retailer as we know it today. This is the story of how a young boy selling matches became the global sensation of IKEA. Perhaps born and bred to be a businessman, Ingvar started his business endeavors at just 5 years old, where he would sell matches to his family and neighbors. Ingvar grew up in a simple life with his mother, father, and sister. Theodor, Ingvar's father, worked on his parents' family farm, Elmtaryd, which was 20 kilometers away. When Ingvar turned 7, the family packed up their items and moved on to the farm. Ingvar would often hear his father say that he would like to make farm improvements, but only if they had enough money. This was a driver in Ingvar's ambition. Ingvar's entrepreneurial journey began at a tender age, with his grandmother Franziska emerging as his most loyal patron. The young boy's nascent business involved selling an array of items to her, from matches to freshly caught fish. Demonstrating an early aptitude for efficiency, Ingvar recognized that a fishing net would significantly boost his productivity. In a savvy move that foreshadowed his future business acumen, he proposed a deal to his father. If his father would invest in a net, Ingvar would share a portion of his earnings. He made a crucial observation during his childhood in the early 1930s that would shape his future business philosophy. Born on March 30th, 1926 in Småland, Sweden, Kamprad was likely between 5 and 10 years old when he noticed the substantial price difference between items sold directly from factories and those sold in shops. This young Kamprad, already displaying an entrepreneurial spirit, was struck by the fact that shops were selling the same items as factories, but at almost 20 times the price. This realization sparked a question in his mind about the cause of such a significant markup. This early insight into retail pricing inefficiencies would become a cornerstone of IKEA's business model, inspiring Kamprad to find ways to reduce costs and offer products at lower prices to consumers. It's noteworthy that Kamprad's business acumen manifested very early. He started selling matches to neighbors at age 5 and expanded to other products by 7. His observations were confirmed later in high school when he started taking courses on commercial operations. He learned that much focus was put on maximizing efficiency in production, but as soon as the item was manufactured, it went back to extremely outdated distribution practices. This is where he shifted his focus. If he wanted to be successful, he would need to figure out how to update the distribution process to be cost-effective. And in 1943, at the age of 17, Ingvar Kamprad officially founded IKEA with a small sum of money gifted by his father as a graduation present. The company's name, an acronym combining Kamprad's initials with those of Elmtaryd, the family farm, and Agunnaryd, his hometown, initially operated as a mail-order business from Kamprad's home. In the aftermath of World War II, Sweden underwent a profound shift in its economic and social policy. Having emerged from the war with its industrial base intact due to its neutrality, the Swedish government pivoted from its pre-war focus on fiscal conservatism and savings to a more expansive approach known as the Swedish model. This new paradigm emphasized investing in people and improving living conditions, rather than merely accumulating national savings. The government significantly increased spending on education, healthcare, and social security, while also launching ambitious housing initiatives like the Million Program. This comprehensive strategy aimed to create a more productive workforce, drive economic growth, and enhance overall quality of life. Largely driven by the Swedish Social Democratic Party, these policies enjoyed broad political support and led to Sweden's reputation for high living standards, low income inequality, and a strong social safety net. This post-World War II shift in Swedish economic and social policy created an ideal environment for IKEA's growth and success. The government's Million Program housing initiative generated massive demand for affordable furniture, while increased investment in education, healthcare, and social security expanded the middle class and boosted consumer purchasing power. This period also saw a cultural shift towards modern minimalist design that aligned perfectly with IKEA's aesthetic.
The Swedish model's emphasis on productivity and efficiency mirrored IKEA's business philosophy, and the country's strong economy encouraged international expansion. Furthermore, increased investment in education provided IKEA with a skilled workforce, while infrastructure development facilitated easier transportation and store establishment. These factors combined to transform IKEA from a small mail-order business in 1943 to a major retailer by the 1960s, with its philosophy of providing affordable, well-designed furniture for the masses, complementing the government's goal of improving living standards for all citizens. Ingvar started advertising his furniture as one of the lowest prices available, but with a unique competitive advantage. IKEA had not reduced its quality like others would. Instead, he was transparent and explained how the low pricing was achieved: high turnover, direct delivery, and low overheads. His low overheads came from selling furniture without the fabrics on and only offering customers a limited number of fabrics to choose from. Furthermore, with efficient distribution in mind, he would buy fabrics directly from the fabric mill instead of the supplier and would cut the fabric himself when an order was mailed in. To further his commitment to quality and price, Ingvar once asked a manufacturer to make the seat a little bit shorter. This change was small enough not to impact the customer's comfort, but at a larger scale, this would reduce the quantity of the supplies being used and in turn lower the cost of goods.
Ingvar's success was not solely due to his vision, but also his great work ethic. While Ingvar was serving military duties, he would rent an office close by so that he could continue working on weekends and evenings. Ingvar's early business endeavors and failures are part of what shaped him as a businessman, and also what we see in IKEA's culture today. It must be allowed to make mistakes. It is always the mediocre people who are negative, who spend their time proving that they were not wrong. This principle was apparent in IKEA's Japan exit and re-entrance, which we will see later in IKEA's timeline.
Success means that more competitors will be entering your domain. IKEA's competitors were making furniture at an even lower price, and the reductions between companies kept coming, resulting in low-quality products across the board. Mail-order businesses, like IKEA, were getting a bad reputation. People did not want to buy furniture from unreputable companies, especially without being able to touch the product. So, as a pivot, Ingvar and his most valued employee, Sven Gota, knew they needed to give the customers an opportunity to feel the products. They wanted to show customers that even though there were many choices with low-cost furniture companies, IKEA without a doubt had the best quality. With luck on his side, in 1953, a factory in the city was closing down, and Ingvar decided to buy this factory and move from the countryside to the city. This factory had enough space to show off Ingvar's ideas, while also showing customers what the product would realistically look like at home. To show a sofa, Ingvar would add a table and rug to make it feel more like a home. With the creation of this new showroom, Ingvar decided to make IKEA solely a furniture store. Another brilliant idea to come from this showroom was giving out biscuits and coffee to customers while they were looking around. This was a huge sensation as the biscuits sold out every day. The lesson learned: people will stay longer and buy more when they are not hungry. As a result, today IKEA has grown to be one of the biggest restaurant chains in the world. Through the decades, IKEA went through highs and lows. Most notably was the entrance, exit, and re-entrance of Japan. In 1974, IKEA entered Japan using their existing strategy and products that worked throughout Northern Europe. Surely their practices would have worked since both IKEA and Japanese culture have a simple style. Unfortunately, this was just not enough to be successful in this country. For one, IKEA did not adjust the size of their furniture. Japanese homes were known to be smaller in order to fit the high-density population, and many of the products were simply too big to fit. Secondly, taking the train at the time was the most common method of transportation. Having large and bulky boxes to carry around was challenging to say the least. Most notably attributable to IKEA's failure was using a business model that did not fit into a different context. Japanese business practices at that time were striving to minimize inconvenience to the customer. Making the customer build their own furniture was opposite to this philosophy. IKEA soon exited Japan with a successful failure. Many lessons were learned in this misfired attempt. Those lessons carried forward into their successes in other parts of the world, like Hong Kong and Australia. A couple decades later in 2006, IKEA re-entered Japan, but this time there was no exit. The difference this time around was that they took the time to understand Japanese people and their culture. There were surveys conducted, homes that were measured, and IKEA actively sought feedback. They finally understood their customers. For example, they understood that traditional Japanese baths were important, and in response they put more focus on certain bathroom items that may have not been as important in the European market. It must be allowed to make mistakes. IKEA made a big mistake, learned and improved. Today, IKEA has 13 stores throughout Japan. At that time, furniture shipping was costly and damage-prone due to its bulk. In 1956, Ingvar revolutionized this process by adapting flat packing for consumer use. By shipping disassembled furniture for customers to put together at home, IKEA significantly improved distribution efficiency. Even though it was first a failure in Japan, this innovation reduced space needs and damage risks, leading to cost savings that supported IKEA's trademark low prices. What started off as a strategy for efficient distribution has now made psychological impacts on consumers, known as the IKEA effect. People value products more if they have assembled it themselves. We see this effect in Build-A-Bear, where people see higher values in stuffed animals if they were to build it themselves. This is why these bears have a premium price attached, but that's a story for another video. IKEA's success is not only due to their store layout, forcing consumers to see all the available products, but they continuously strive to be better. Known as the Life at Home Report, IKEA surveyed over 250,000 people across the globe to gain a further insight into key components of home life, resulting in a deeper understanding about what it means to have a fulfilling home. It is no surprise that IKEA comes out with 2,000 new products each year. IKEA Canada's Life at Home 2023 report gave the insight that Canadians were having financial trouble and difficulty to make ends meet. By listening and responding, IKEA Canada made a major decision which made news headlines and trended over social media. The decision? They decided to permanently slash its prices with some discounts at almost 50%. Their constant ability to adapt and retransform themselves made them an international phenomenon, while also maintaining key concepts from its roots. Ingvar Kamprad understood a key to clients is to keep them fed and in-store longer. Today, we see IKEA having a cafeteria and a cafe halfway through your shopping experience. Ingvar wanted clients to be able to feel the quality of IKEA products and imagine what it would look like in a real home. We see this today in IKEA's showrooms, where they are set up to look like living areas. Through success and failures, IKEA learns each time on how to continue improving. Through the next few years, we are sure to see many more of IKEA's different ideas, some great, some maybe not so great, but we will without a doubt see how they continue being a superhero furniture store.